Welcome to this week's episode of In the Clutch. I am your host, Daryl Early, joined by my co-host, T. Will.
What it do?
What it do, what it do. We came in today to discuss our fantasy football draft we had on yesterday, August the 29th. First time doing it online.
Yeah. Well, I've done it multiple times, but in our league, this is our first time doing it.
My first time doing it online. It went pretty smooth, I think.
Yeah.
Went kind of fast. I think I'm happy with my selections. I'm happy with my roster. I saw some things that I probably could have did a little bit better, but I think overall, I think I did a good job. I think I ended up with a C grade, but I ain't too much worried about that.
No, you can't go by the grades that much, especially because our settings are different. I think with our quarterbacks and defenses are judged a little bit differently. So I think that was for the standard leagues. But I was totally happy with my team. So
we ready for the season to start, ready to kick butts in our prospective divisions. I'm excited because I got somebody I didn't think was going to – I picked fourth, and I wasn't expecting Lamar Jackson to be there at fourth. So it kind of threw my whole draft off because I just knew him and Patrick Mahomes were going to be gone. And my initial plan was Russell Wilson. So I kind of –
That's your first round pick?
Russell Wilson, yeah.
Oh.
My first round pick.
Okay.
With Mahomes and Jackson gone, I was looking at Russell Wilson – because I had it set up where I was gonna get my wide receivers and stuff based on that.
Gotcha.
But when it fall in your lap, you just got to take it. Then I kind of had to readjust how I wanted to draft based on that. So
right, and I had the overall number one pick. So I mean that means I had a sucky year last year, but I got the first pick and I took that McCaffrey kid. When I saw what he did last year, I could not let him slide. I wanted to get with Mahomes, but the more and more I thought about it and I looked at the kid's stats from last year, this guy, for those that just watch the game and just don't keep up with the stats, this guy caught 101 passes last year as a running back. 101 passes and still had 1,200 yards rushing. So
that's almost like two players.
It's almost like two players in one. So I said, forget about Mahomes. Let me go with McCaffrey. So I was definitely happy with that.
But that wasn't the biggest surprise. You had two big surprises for us.
Yes, I did.
But to pass up, I looked at your roster, to pass up Patrick Mahomes and to still end up with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, hold up, how this?
Well, keep in mind, we got, we had 4 openings in our league, so we got 4 newbies. So I don't know their background in fantasy
I didn't look. I had Lamar Jackson, so I really wasn't even looking at quarterbacks after that. But to let Aaron Rodgers come back down to you or up to you,
dude, I didn't get Aaron Rodgers probably about the 5th round, 6th round.
See, some people didn't do some good drafting because it ain't no way in our league. There's no way he should have lasted that long.
No, so I'm ecstatic. So I did a couple of good things. See, I've been playing this stuff for 13, 14 years. So I'm a master. I didn't have a good season last year, but I'm a master at doing certain things. So I also I'll let you tell him what other surprise did I do for him?
Okay. Of course, he had the number 1 pick. So, of course, he had to wait until, the 24th, 32nd,
32nd and 33rd.
33rd, whatever pick. So,
with the back-to-back picks, yeah.
Yeah, so he came back with his back-to-back picks. And he got Travis Kelce. So, that was like the end of the second round.
Yeah.
So then I'm thinking, okay, beginning of the third round, he probably gonna get a good wide receiver or running back or something. This guy got George Kittles.
That's what I did.
So he went back to back. I mean, at first I was looking at it like, why would you do that? But then I thought about it. I said, man, really, that was a good move.
Yeah, and the reason why I say that because you the commissioner. We got two flexible spots where you can use the wide receiver, running back, tight end categories. So I'm saying to myself, I can get me a tight end for the tight end slot and get me one for one of those flex positions. And both of those guys are like stretch wide receivers anyway. So, I mean, those guys are putting up 80 to 100 catches a year, well over 1,000 yards in predominantly tough categories, tight end. It's not that many good tight ends out there. So for me to sit up there and get both of them, I was ecstatic when that happened.
And it kind of goes back to what we talked about on the first fantasy show that we did when we were discussing would you get a tight end. Yeah. And we said either early second round, late first round, early second round, depending on how everything went.
Right.
And you got them late second round, early first round, early third round.
Yeah, early third.
You know, so it's like, again, it goes to what I be saying about these drafts. I mean, you can plan all you want, but you never know how the person before you gonna pick.
Right. You can always throw a monkey wrench. You got to have a backup plan where you're going to sit up there and do it. And like you said, I would have never thought in my wildest dreams. I already conceded. I said, okay, I changed my mind in the first pick. I wasn't going to take Mahomes. That I'm just going to wait to the 5th, 6th round or whatever, 7th round to get a quarterback and take my chances. But when I get to the 5th or 6th round, and I just clicked on the quarterbacks category and said, well, who can I get now that's probably – and the first one on my list was Aaron Rodgers. I had to wipe my eyes. I had to take my glasses off and wipe my eyes to make sure I was seeing what I was actually seeing. But he was right there for the picking. I think I had, about 2 people in front of me. I said, please, just don't grab Rodgers.
I tell you what, and it's a lesson learned for me because I wasn't expecting to get a backup quarterback until like the 8th or 9th round, something like that. Had I been on my P's and Q's and just looked over there at the quarterbacks, I would have got him. If I would have saw him in the 5th or 6th round still out there, I would have got him. So hey, great job of drafting on that. We're going to continue this conversation. We had the first show, we had one female, and between that time and now, we added another female. So now we got 2 females in the league, which is a good thing. We got TaylorMade. She used to be in the league a few years ago. She dropped off, but now she's back. We're going to come back after this quick commercial break with her. She's excited to be back in the league. I'm glad she's back in the league. We need some of that diversity. She's from Memphis, but she's from Detroit. She's in Detroit, Michigan. So of course she's a Detroit fan.
Well, she's not going to be too excited. She's in my division.
That's right.
She's in my division, so I can't wait to get her on so I can do a little trash talk. Yeah, do a little pre-trash talk and let her know what I'm gonna do to her. so I'm looking forward to that.
Look, she's very competitive now. She's very competitive. She was. I'll let her explain what happened as far as the draft, but I think it worked out in her best interest. So you guys don't go nowhere. Stay right there. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break with the second lady in our fantasy football league, TaylorMade. Y'all stay right there. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Kennedy Marie of Faces by Ken Marie. I'm a self-taught makeup artist based out of Memphis, Tennessee. There are certain types of makeup artistry. I do cosmetic makeup. People ask me all the time who taught me how to do makeup. I learned it all from YouTube. So anybody out there wanting to pursue makeup or anything and need some inspiration or some help or just to pick me up, go to YouTube. I also make closure wigs. I can customize, construct, and style your wig. I can be reached on Instagram at Faces by Ken Marie. It is also the same for Facebook. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel where I post makeup videos weekly at Kennedy Marie. I'm looking forward to slaying you and thank you for booking with me. Hi, I'm Kennedy Marie of Faces by Ken Marie. I've been doing makeup for about a year now. I actually started because I was kind of tired of paying people to do my makeup when I could just get the necessities and do it myself for free. Remember, it's Faces by Ken Marie. Book your appointments today.
And welcome back to In the Clutch. We are joined by TaylorMade. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
What's up? What's going on, TaylorMade?
Nothing. Kind of cool up here in Detroit.
Oh, it ain't bad here in Memphis today.
I guess y'all down south. I'm up north.
Yeah,
We get a little cool.
Yeah, we got a little. It's been cloudy for the most part today, so we ain't dealing with no heat today. It's a nice day today.
Yeah, us too.
You know what I just
cool.
realized?
What?
Y'all in the same division.
Are we?
Y'all in the same division.
Cool.
I told him, he said she's excited to be in. I said she ain't gonna be excited when she find out she in the league with me.
Is that right?
That's right.
Look,
Wow.
I told him we're gonna do some early trash talking.
Okay, come with it.
Look. He can't say too much. He finished last year. I still say he tanked at the end so he can get that number one pick. I think I would have did it too.
And boy, what a number one pick it was.
Yeah, he got Christian McCaffrey. He I ain't gonna call it luck. Hey, he did what he was supposed to do. I thought he was going Patrick Mahomes. He kind of threw me off when he selected Christian McCaffrey. He was talking so much good stuff about the MVP and all of that stuff last year and this and that. Then he come and get Christian McCaffrey.
He must have got that. He must have did that mock draft because he was number one in the mock draft.
In every mock draft I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was number one in the mock draft, but that wasn't the reason. I did my homework on him, and I don't want to come in last again, so I had to change my approach. So
As my
hopefully it
cousin
works
Rob
this
would
year.
say, "Hey, I believe you."
I know, right?
Mhm.
I don't believe that. Uh-huh.
So overall, Nicole, TaylorMade.
So
Go ahead, Terry. Go ahead.
well, yeah, one thing I was going to say about one of our previous shows, what we were talking about is um, we talk about fantasy quite a bit, on the show. And I was trying to encourage the audience and the listeners that, for those that don't know, that it's not all about just men playing fantasy sports. I know a lot of women that's very competitive and that are good, in the fantasy sports world. Uh, and I was just excited when we had to get a replacement, and Daryl told me that you was going to be one of them. So we had another lady. So I'm just trying to tell the ladies out there, it's fun. It's other things that you can do, and there are also some competitive ladies out here as well as men out here doing this. So again, welcome to the league, and we're happy to have you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, actually, welcome back to the league because she was drafting with us. Man, it's been some years now, but
Yeah.
what was happening? We was doing the draft offline, so basically, it was she had to either text me or call me
And
in
it got
her
a little
picks.
too much.
Yeah, it was a little too much for me. I couldn't keep up with
You know what? I remember you.
You do.
You the one that we used to be at the picnic. No, we used to be at the picnic, and Daryl was drafting for another person.
Right.
And I was like, "What are you doing?" And that was you.
Yeah, that's what was
Yeah,
messing me up.
Okay.
I don't live down there with you guys anymore. I live in Detroit, Michigan now.
Yeah, but I remember him doing something for somebody
It was me.
where they were
Yeah.
calling doing picks, and it was you. That's what. Okay, it makes sense now.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I got you.
because I knew you was out there when we was doing that. That's why I said Terry. I knew
Yeah.
y'all didn't know each other because it was, but she was in the league when you was in the league too. Yeah, but like I said,
Right.
it just got to the, I was trying to keep in the league, but it was messing me up. I'm gonna be honest with you because I had to every time somebody pick, I had to text her to who picked. So I'm texting. Then she texts me back, and I want this person. I'm like, that person already gone. Who you got? You on the
Right.
clock? So it started. It got to
Well,
be
she,
too. It got to be too much. But now since we
well, she got a
online,
pretty decent team. I just want to know, did she draft those players herself, or was it the computer, or what? She
I'm
has a
a
pretty okay team.
I'm gonna let her explain what happened.
Okay, so what happened was we were having a little technical difficulty. So I was calling in between Daryl and between Rod, and I'm like, I can't get in, I can't get in. So ultimately, I got in, but I didn't get in until the last three picks, and so the
I ain't-
computer drafted for me.
So she got an auto draft
Yeah, I
this
had
year,
autograph.
and I told her that probably
So
was your
she,
best bet.
well, she can't brag on anything. If the computer gave it to her, I was trying to do some fun trash talk, but she can't trash talk right now. If the computer gave her a team, she can't. We can't do anything. We have to wait till the season starts.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
But she
That's
said
okay.
she
They
said she
picked
would have
for me,
picked
but it
most
was
of
all
them
right.
players. She said she would have picked most of them though.
Yeah,
Only thing she didn't get that I
Yeah,
think she
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
was On Johnson and who else? Kenny Galladay.
yeah. Some of my Detroit Lion players,
Hey, hey, hey,
So
hey, cut
yeah.
that out. Don't nobody want to see that.
Yep, you see my headband, it's the Lions too.
Oh man. Hey,
I got
Terry,
all kind of Lions.
My my con- my condolences to you.
No, don't do that. Don't do Detroit.
Terry,
Don't do us, okay?
I'm be honest with you. She is a true sports fan. She watching the Tigers game now. Detroit Tigers
Yeah, Detroit Tigers
baseball.
on. Yeah, they playing
Yeah, I'm
them.
a big baseball fan too. I'm a Phillies fan, so I'm a big baseball fan myself.
Okay, at least I got a home
You guys are
team.
doing pretty good.
We
Yeah,
doing
yeah, but
we
you
doing
guys are
better.
doing pretty good.
We were in a slump. We were
Yeah,
like
y'all.
7 games down, and then they started coming back. So hopefully they stay up.
I don't keep up with nobody but the Memphis Redbirds.
Ha! That's a minor league
I
team.
know it. I know it. No, I'm Atlanta Braves, but I'm not. I just cheer for them. I hope I cheer for them to win or whatever. I'm not really. I watch baseball, but I'm not. I wouldn't say a baseball fan. But if I got to pick a team, I probably stick with the Atlanta Braves because of my boy. From when I was in the military, we used to watch baseball because that was all that would come on the TV we had, and I started
Okay.
watching Atlanta Braves baseball with him. So I guess I just kind of took on as a Braves fan. I didn't like the Yankees because everybody else did, and the
Hey, it's my
Dodgers.
boy calling them. My boy from New Edition, Ronnie DeVoe, calling them the Stankies. They don't call them the Yankees.
I can roll with it. We're gonna look. We're gonna have to do a show on is winning all the time a good or bad thing? Because I think that little time where they won like what 7 or 8 out of 10 years or something, or whatever it was. I don't know if that's good or bad for baseball or any sport. Uh oh,
What
got some
happened? What
got some
happened?
technical difficulties. Oh, there you go. He back.
I'll be back. Wait, what happened?
He back and clearer.
What's going on? What's going on? We having some difficulties.
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
some
you are.
technical.
You keep going in and out.
You back now though.
I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, I'm out here enjoying a little bit of this beach up in the beach house. So I'm trying to, I'm just lying. We're having technical difficulties.
Nah, we
Well, while
back.
you fix your technical difficulties, the one thing I want to say about Detroit, since I live here and I was born and raised here, we have the unique, I guess, how do I want to say this? The unique opportunity to have baseball, football, basketball, and hockey. And we have a soccer team too now. We used to have WNBA, but they moved to Tulsa. So, but I'm a sports fan. So,
Hold
the
on.
Pistons,
That
Red
sound
Wings, the Tigers, the Lions, it doesn't matter.
that sound like a knock against Memphis.
Hey, I'm just saying, we have a unique thing up here. We can go to games, Comerica Park, or we can go down there to Ford Field. It's all good.
Damn, I hate when there ain't nothing I can really say.
Yeah, it's good to have a knowledgeable person on the show. So
Can you believe this Rod cousin?
no, ain't nothing. No, ain't nothing we can say, man.
Look,
Yeah, so we
Rod,
get a chance
Rod
to
don't
go to
even.
the game.
But I tell you one thing. She's but she's definitely more intelligent than Rod.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Rod didn't even know his tight end, did it, Terry?
He didn't even know his tight end.
Well, just
He didn't even know
Oh,
his
that
tight
is
end.
Nicole,
And then
TaylorMade.
look, the funny part about it is, I talked to him earlier. He was over. I talked to him earlier when he was over here, and I told him, "Hey, I got your wide receiver in the draft," and he said, "Who?" I'm like, "Your wide receiver, your number one receiver. Who, who is that?" So I'm like, "Man, look, I can't deal with Rod."
dang. That's something else right
Hey,
there.
look, he ain't here to defend himself, so we're gonna leave him alone.
Yep.
Terry,
Yep.
I'll let
It's
you
the
light
best
into
time
him
to get
some
it.
other time. But Nicole, let's give us a rundown of who all you got on your fantasy team.
Okay, so for my quarterback, I have Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills. Two of my wide receivers, he
He'll be back.
disappeared. It's Allen Robinson the second from Chicago and Terry McLaurin from the Washington team since they're no longer the Redskins.
Correct. Oh, I got to
Yeah,
remember to start saying that too.
the
Wash,
Washington
yeah,
team, the
Washington
Washington
football
football
team
team.
instead of Redskins. It's gonna take me a minute to get used to that.
I know, right? But we got to come up with the times. And then one of my favorite that I got for the running back is Derrick Henry. That's who I
Yeah, that's
wanted,
who
and
you
that's who
said
I
you
got.
wanted. Yeah, so that worked
Yeah,
out for you.
Kenyon Drake from Arizona,
That's who I wanted.
Tyler Higbee
Yeah.
from the Los Angeles Rams, Jonathan Taylor from the Indianapolis Colts. That's my daughter's favorite team, and he's my tight end. And then I have Jonathan Taylor as my running back from Indiana, Robert Woods from the Los Angeles Rams, Alexander Madison, he's on the bench. He's a running back. Zach Moss, a running back from Buffalo. Damian Harris from New England, which I really despise New England. But, if we had to go for teams, I wouldn't have put him on my team. But he's on the bench. Gardner Minshew the second, and he's from Jacksonville. He's a backup quarterback. And I also got a backup quarterback, Dwayne Haskins Jr.
Go on, put
from the
him in.
Washington football team.
Go on, put him
Huh?
in. Go on, put Haskins in.
No, not right now.
Go
And
on,
then I
put.
got I got
I,
Jimmy
I, I,
Graham.
I,
I got Jimmy Graham as a backup tight end from Chicago.
TaylorMade.
Yes, sir.
TaylorMade. I've heard great things about your quarterback Haskins. I've
Yeah,
heard
me too.
great
That's
things
why I
about
picked
him. I've
him
heard
up.
he's been great in camp. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Start him. He'd be a great guy to start week one for your team. So I'm just, I don't like to help nobody out, but
Yeah,
I'm
I
sort
don't
of
know
helping you
about
out.
that because you in my
He would be a
division.
good person
So
for
Exactly.
you,
that's
He,
man.
why I'm checking.
I was just gonna say he in your division, so take
Right,
that advice with a grain of salt now.
right. So I got Tennessee as my defense, and I have Will Lutz as my kicker from New Orleans.
So you gotta. I mean, as I'm looking at my roster, and I'm saying, like we said on the opening commentary, that Yahoo grades you out, but I mean, you got a what? You got a B plus or B?
I got a B.
Yeah, so me and Terry got C's, and we think we got just as a formidable roster as the people who they got ranked above us.
But it's all a chance because people get hurt, and then people play well some days they don't. So it's all about how you play your players and what they're able to do the week that they play.
Yeah,
I use it. I use it as bulletin board material. So I don't care what they think. I still think I got the best team in the draft, and I think I'm going to be your 2020 champion.
Ha! You got to think that. If you don't think it, who else will? Because it won't be me to think that. I'm gonna think myself as well.
Well, of course, I'm thinking I
And
got.
in my Fred Sanford boys, we got 1,000 big ones on the line for this.
Uh huh.
Look,
We will see.
look. I don't like to brag because I feel like when I brag, I think when I play that quiet, just don't say nothing role. That's when I be more productive. So I ain't even really gonna say nothing about it. I think
Right,
I
because you put a jinx on
yeah I
yourself.
think I be jinxing myself, but I think I did good in the draft. I didn't get all the players that I was expecting to get, and like I was explaining to Terry, I had a philosophy on how I was drafting based on the assumption that I made, and we already know what happens when we assume.
Ah.
I was assuming that certain players were going to be gone by the time they came to me, so I had a plan, and the plan kind of blew up when Lamar Jackson fell in my lap, so I had to take him. I mean, I think it took me 5 seconds to click on him and say, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get him because I didn't have him in my queue.
Oh, really?
I didn't have him in my queue because I thought Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, I thought they were gonna be the first two people off the board in our league because our league is quarterback and defense driven. I figured those two would be gone at least in the top three. I knew somebody
Okay.
was gonna switch it up, and when Terry got picked McCaffrey first, I was like, okay, it's still gonna be Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and then when it didn't happen like that, I just said, you know what, I gotta grab him, and it kind of threw me off on everything else I wanted to do because I was kind of looking for a quarterback wide receiver combination, which I didn't
Right.
get, but hey, I still think I did pretty good on my draft. And Terry, go ahead, tell her what you got. I know we discussed it earlier, but tell her what you got.
Man, I got McCaffrey. I got the two best tight ends in football in Kelsey and Kittle, man. I got them back to back picks in the late second and early third round. Got both. I got both running backs for Chicago. I got that rookie sensation from Dallas, C.D. Lamb. I'm loaded. I'm loaded, man. I am loaded
Boo.
for bear. So I am ready.
Boo.
I am
You're
excited.
talking a lot of stuff.
Nobody can steal my joy. That's what I do.
I see.
That's what I do. But look, on another note, I know we don't have that much time, but I wanted to change topics. I wanted to get your opinion. Since you are in the Detroit area, season starts in a couple of weeks. Uh, what have you been hearing from Lions camp? Pluses, minuses, your predictions of where you think they're going to do this year, and that type of good stuff. So,
Before you even comment on that, I want to RIP Cliff Robinson. I don't know if everybody, with all the Chadwick Boseman reporting yesterday, I think Cliff Robinson passed away, and I think that got overlooked a little bit. So if you want to say something about him, Nicole, go ahead and shout out to him right quick too.
Yeah, that was another sad moment, especially for us up here in Detroit, because he played for us a couple of years. A lot of people always talk about the Portland Trailblazers, but he actually played up here, and he was a really good guy. He was community oriented, so he did a lot of community service while he was here in the Detroit area, and he's going to be missed. And it's like, man, he was just so young. 53 years old is really young, and
Yeah,
we're going to miss him, and we send him blessings and prayers to his family and friends.
yeah,
right.
it's
And while
been
we send in our condolences, let me take the time out to say we lost another great legend in Arizona, college basketball coach for years, Lou Olson, also passed away
what?
as well. So I want to give, yes, he passed
Yeah, that
away.
was an
So we want to give
irritating.
our condolences to him and his family. And from a personal note, I lost a good friend of mine to COVID a couple days ago. DJ Cutter, barbershop DJ, best on the planet, man. We're gonna miss you and all that. And I just encourage everybody out here, take this stuff seriously. I mean, COVID
Yes.
is still here, it's still alive and kicking. So I'm advising and asking everyone, please stay safe. take precautions and all that stuff because it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Exactly.
And I want
So before we get to what your question was, Terry, I just wanted to also mention, like, the Big Ten has decided not to play because of that, because it's kind of hard to contain kids. They're still kids, even though they're adults. And a lot of parents up here and players are upset. And, I don't know if you guys heard or not, but there's a few players are suing the Big Ten because of that, because they want to play.
But you know what I think I don't know if we discussed this or not, Terry. It's ironic, and I think we did discuss this. It's ironic that the Big Ten and the what was it, the Pac-12 now, whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a coincidence is it that those two decided that we're not going to play this year or we're going to play later? And I knew it was coming. I knew this was coming. Now they're saying they're going to play later, and the winner of each conference going to play in the Rose Bowl for the Rose Bowl title.
Yeah.
Because, the Rose Bowl used to be a big deal bowl, but now it's just part of the playoff system.
Yeah.
And, it used to be the Big Ten and the Pac-12 that, whoever won those divisions played in the Rose Bowl every year. Now It's not like that. So they losing a lot of money because of that. So I think
they are, but you got to think about, would you rather lose money or would you rather lose lives? You can always regain money, but lives you can't get back.
I understand that, but if you're not playing and you see if you say we just not gonna play at all, that's one thing. But you say we're not gonna play right now, we're gonna play later, and then when we play later, we're gonna play for this chance to play in the Rose Bowl. It make me wonder, what was your real reason for not playing right now? Was it for the kids, or was it so you could secure that bag and get all that money from the Rose Bowl? And think about it,
It has nothing to do with the kids. It's all about money, man.
I mean, they say it's about the kids, but look what's going to be going on in the springtime when they talking about having this big Rose Bowl game. Nothing else is going to be going on. That's going to be that'll be the normal dead period of football, basketball, base, everything. That's the little dead period. So if you got the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all, how much money you think that's going to bring in?
Oh, it's going to garner a lot of money and attention.
So follow the money.
But Daryl, you don't think that's smart though, or you just think they're manipulating the system? That's what I hear.
Manipulating the system. Follow the money.
I don't know. I think it's a smart thing though, because it's not like the NBA where they can keep these kids in a bubble. They still going to classes or they're going home, and they're still out in the streets. NBA, WNBA, they're staying in a bubble.
Is the SEC
so they're
playing?
Not exposed.
Is the SEC playing?
Man,
is the ACC playing?
The SEC, especially Alabama.
Is Notre Dame going over to the ACC just so they can play?
Really? Because they've always been independent.
They're going over to the ACC this year, just for this year. So if all these other conferences still playing, come on.
Well, not all of them. You got the Ivy League not playing either, and some of the other the MAC
when the last time Ivy League team made it to the championship game?
I'm just saying, you saying like only the Pac-12 and the Big Ten are the only ones not playing.
Don't count the Ivy League. If you ain't telling me one of the
Hey, last time I checked, I was a co-host. When are you going to get to my question about the Detroit Lions?
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I apologize for getting us off track.
Am I still a part of the show? Am I still a part of the show, Daryl? I mean, do I get to ask questions?
Oh man,
that's the great thing about being, man. What you get off the line for? Get back on.
So what I will say, Terry, about that is it's really still early for the Lions, because everybody gone except for me. What happened?
You on there? We just focusing just on you. Go ahead.
That's on purpose.
Oh, okay. So what
we're giving you.
Okay, so what I think is I don't know if you guys know or not. Martha Ford stepped down as the day-to-day, president or whatever of the organization. So she gave it to her daughter. Her daughter really doesn't know a lot about football. She's learning on the job, which is kind of scary to me. A lot of people say they think that she knows, but I don't. And it's kind of ironic that her brothers, they're not even, touching the Lions or whatever. The feeling up here in Detroit is that the Ford family really needs to sell the Lions because they're not doing them any good. They're just there to make money. Because as you said earlier, win or lose, people, they still support the Lions, and I'm one of them. But, we're getting tired of losing. So I think some things need to change. First, ownership needs to change. Matt Patricia, he is not a good coach. Quinn, he's not a good GM. I mean, it's a lot of things. So I don't know, how this season is going to turn out. Hopefully we'll do something. As Darryl pointed out earlier, Matthew Stafford is just not coming back from an injury. So he's been out for quite a while, and he's a little rusty. My friend Kerryon Johnson, he's injury prone at times. So we'll see how this works out. But Galladay is one of my favorite players, and I think him and he and Marvin Jones Jr. would do pretty good this year too. And I mean, what my perspective is that we got to see, because everything is new up here. It's changing from day to day. And I really don't think that the Ford daughter is going to do a good job as being the overseer for the Lions.
Kind of like when Dr. Buss passed away and passed it along to his kids, which it's what you're gonna do. You just have to hope that they groom them the right way and they do business, which I think the Lakers finally got their stuff together when they went through a couple of different people.
Right.
Now they got some good management going. Well, at least it seemed like they got some good management going.
Man, Daryl, let me stand up and clap for you, man. You always find a way to bring the Lakers into a conversation. I mean, you kill me, man. You kill me. You find a way to bring them in there, man. This guy is something else, man. We could be talking about a funeral, and he's gonna find a way to bring the Lakers up. I don't get it.
Did you see Kobe's funeral?
That I did not.
Yeah, I did.
I couldn't see that because
I didn't either.
I can't watch that.
It still hurt me to this day when I talk about Kobe. Yeah. That's why I don't talk about him that much. I talk about Prince James and them, but
yeah, but you know what? I did not like Kobe as a player, but I liked him as a person. It's a difference.
Yeah.
Somebody,
it's a big difference
as opposed to their persona off the field. And he's one of those players to me that was like, he was spoiled to me and a crybaby, but he did a lot for his community and for his family. I commend him for that, for being a man. It's kind of like LeBron too. I like LeBron, what he's doing in his community. He still does stuff in, Cleveland and Akron area. And a lot of people get that fame and they just don't even think about their city anymore. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you do when you part of a class organization. You do stuff like that. Shout out to the Lakers. Shout out to the 49ers. Shout out to the Atlanta Braves. Shout out to the Tennessee Vols. Shout out to Penny Hardaway and the University of Memphis Tigers.
Well, it is his show.
Right.
It is his show. I mean, what can I do?
Hey, if that's the case, then I want to give Juwan Howard a shout out because Juwan Howard played for the Fab Five in Michigan. Now he's back as the head coach.
Who?
Juwan Howard. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Fab Five.
Juwan I'm a Duke fan. Shout out to Duke. So the Duke and Michigan, we didn't get along too good, and I didn't like some of the things that the Fab Five said about my Duke Blue Devils. Shout out to Christian Laettner. Shout out to Bobby Hurley. Shout out to Grant Hill.
Hey, Grant Hill played for Detroit too. He played for the Pistons.
Oh, that's right.
He was part of our
that's right.
For a long time.
That's right.
You forget who you're talking to.
I mean,
even though I'm a girl, I know a lot about sports.
He made them great again. Terry, come back. Terry, come back. I mean, I'm sorry. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Come on back, Terry. Come on back, Terry. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna say nothing else, man. I'm through. Terry, I'm finna put it on you. Anything you want to say?
I
Anything?
don't want to say nothing. Until I get something in this company, man, I ain't gonna say nothing, man. I'm not gonna say nothing.
See now see how he do me, people. I give him the spotlight. I
He
give
was
him the
like, I ain't got
I
nothing
give
to
him the
say.
opportunity to say anything he want to say, and now he don't want to say nothing. Then when I need him to be quiet, he running his mouth. He want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. I'm surprised he ain't say nothing about C.D. Lamb that he drafted in the
Oh, he
third or
did.
fourth
You didn't
round
hear
of
him say
winning.
that? He did. He said that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I must wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, and that's another team that I don't like. I really don't like the Dallas Cowgirls. That is,
Yeah. Tell us
they
tell
are the worst.
tell us how great Mike McCarthy is, Terry.
I'm waiting.
It's nothing he can
What
say
he
about
going
that. He left again. I guess he didn't like the conversation. Or that's the fantasy gods blessing us. But
Wow.
I'm glad you back in the league, Nicole. I really am. I'm we put you in a division where the two guys that fell off, so you ended up with Terry and Grim Reaper, and who the other guy? Terry, Grim Reaper, and Rob. Rob these guys. That's who in your league.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think Mega Boy was telling me that yesterday when I was
yeah.
talking to him.
So me and Mega Boy Rob, we still in the same division. We gonna battle it out like we do every year. I ain't have a good year last year, so I'm definitely looking to bounce back. I know Terry looking to bounce back after his disappointing finish last year. I got to go look at the schedule too. I don't know. I know me and Terry play
Sorry,
against each other. I don't know if me and you play against each other, Nicole.
I don't know either.
We might. I'm gonna go look at the schedule in a minute. I got to make sure everything right.
yeah.
Got all these divisions and
Sorry,
stuff.
sorry, guys.
Man,
Sorry, guys. I'm back. I'm having all kind of technical difficulties, so it's not on purpose.
And it sounded like when we started talking about the Cowgirls, you just disappeared.
how ironic. You
I don't
shaking
hate her.
you shaking your head, so that means you heard us.
Yeah.
Come on, say something.
Yeah.
He ain't got nothing to say? Or you having technical difficulties again?
Nothing.
Well, Nicole, I know you said you had to go early. Like, we don't want to hold you all day, but we appreciate you coming on the show. We appreciate your insight. You did a
Oh, no
great
problem.
job. You did. We definitely want to have you back. Probably.
Thanks for having me. I enjoyed this. This was
Yep.
quite fun.
Oh yeah. So now, halfway through the season, when we call you up now, regardless of what your record is, you're gonna have to come on here and let us know how you're doing on your fantasy now.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure now, because some people they'll just disappear on you. We won't
No,
hear from them.
I ain't scared. As Bone Crusher said, I ain't never scared.
Oh, ooh, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Never
That's what I'm
scared.
talking about. Look at Terry. He don't know what to say
Okay.
now. I told you she very competitive, man. She very
Yes, I
competitive.
am. I am.
Well, look, we enjoyed you, and like I said, we thank
I'll
you
see
again.
you. I'll see you week 2.
Okay. Okay.
And with that, we're out of here. You are clutch.
I wanna know what's the purpose of a getting told? What are we here for? Oh, if you could let me know, is it a demand or is it a command that we are the species on this planet? I wanna know what's the purpose. demand or is it command that we are the species on this planet?
Is there a purpose for me being here, or was I born to die? It hurts me to see the worry and fear in my mama's eyes when I walk out the door, not knowing if I'm coming back. She knowing I'm strapped, and she knowing how I react. The rest of the family think I'm gonna end up doing life. I holler back, I'm in touch, yet I often think about what it'll be like. Locked tight, not a pretty thought, so it can't be a pretty sight. I got my sights set on the sky, an eagle flying high, but for now I got to backslide. Never flapping hard, I just glide, trying to enjoy all my time on this earth. Take the good with the bad, keep me first, hate to disperse. Before I burst, I feel cursed, yet it's still I feel blessed. Niggas think cause I was raised around money, I don't know stress. What you see ain't always what you get. Money brings X, fast money don't stress, and 9 to 5 pay shit and treat us like pets. I'm gonna do what I can do whenever I can do my thing. With them real niggas, crooks for life is what I claim. Some things never change. Some niggas was born to reign, much more than maintain. Just put that on your brain. Just put that on your brain.
Living in the ghetto for 16 years. Many people say it's hard for us to make meals. Life's gone down the drain. Smoking on cane. Junkies running up to the personal domain. Campaign, this all we do. Who, me and my crew. To all my niggas who bout they hustle. Watch out for them boys in blue. See if you caught, you through. Incarceration is a must. And when they bust, shit, you out of luck. You just been plucked like a duck. No time for quacking when you're locked up. That shit's fucked up. Make a bill, nat that ass then looked up. Back on the scene the next day. Not giving a fuck what them folks say. And I'm gon' stay. Nigga, you already know. I'm crooking my own way. I wanna know what's the purpose of a ghetto? What are we here for? Oh, if you could let me know. Is it a demand or is it a command that we are the species on this planet? I wanna know what's the purpose of a ghetto? What are we?
And we are back. Had a great show today, Terry. What'd you think?
I loved it. Great information from TaylorMade all the way from Detroit. Thanks again for coming on the show and giving us a little insight and help us see what the Detroit Lions will be doing this year, as well as talk about the fantasy draft that we actually had. So very insightful stuff.
After the interview, I'm ready to see y'all in week 2. I'll be paying close attention to that matchup in week 2.
Week 2, I'm ready.
Want to thank you guys again for tuning in. We really appreciate it. You know, make sure you click that subscription button on YouTube, like, comment, put the notifications on. Check us out on Facebook, In the Clutch podcast. Again, like us on there, join our page and all of that.
Instagram, we got
everything.
Everything.
Get us on
Twitter.
everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Check us out. Let us know what you think. Got any comments you want to send in, questions, email us at intheclutchpodcast@gmail.com. We will reply in a timely manner. I don't check it every day, but I kind of check it every day or so just to see if we got anything. We had some questions, but some of the questions we got in ain't really pertaining to nothing that we talking about. So
right, so I don't need it.
Kind of put them in, not the trash bin, but I put them in another save bin. So maybe we can pull them out of the archives one day. Like we say, sports talk and more. We're going to end this show, but before we end this show, I just want to talk about we got a presidential election coming up. Just want to talk about the importance of voting, regardless of who you're voting for, who you might be, Republican, Democrat, it don't matter. Some changes have to be made across the board. You know, not just the presidency. I mean, Congress, Senate. I mean, any seat that's open that we're voting on, you need to take a long look at what's going on and do some real research and make some informative decisions on who you vote and put in office. Because I'm going to say this, and I don't like to get too political, but the stuff that's going on right now in the House and the Senate is ridiculous. I mean, if you're saying that we need these stimulus packages, what's the problem? Why we can't get them out? And I'm gonna be honest with you. I see problems on the Republican side, and I see problems on the Democratic side.
Right.
And I don't think the information was put together. I don't think stuff was done. These rules and stuff that's in place on how stuff have to get passed and stuff, it shouldn't take them months to get these bills out. I think the Republicans, I think they holding out for, trying to do something big right before the election. I think the Democrats holding out thinking we gonna hold out longer than them. Yeah. It's a lot of stuff that's going on. And when they say, what we're doing is for the people, I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's issues on both sides. I mean, it's not just the Republicans and it's some of the Democrats too. And like you said, it's not just about the voting just for the president part. It's a lot of different things that we need to sit up there and change. Number one, our ancestors fought for the right for us to get out there and vote. So we should be voting.
Because think if we couldn't vote, what the uproar would be.
Right.
If you couldn't vote, then you'd be screaming up and down every aisle why we can't vote. So,
right.
But I mean, it's just like anything else. It's your right to vote, and it's your right if you choose not to vote. When people don't vote and then they complain, I have a problem with that.
I have a big problem with that. If you have a chance to be as part of the solution and not be, but you're all on social media or
everywhere but where you're supposed to be.
Everywhere where you're supposed to be. And like I said, I'm not for one way or the other way. I'm for the right way. So exactly. That's me. It's the way I've always been. And I just think that we've had a tough 2020 has just been awful. But these last few years, a change has to come. And like I said, keep in mind, I'm not talking about just the presidency. It's like Daryl said, it's the Democrats and Republicans. You have people out here that
local and state government,
and to piggyback on what Daryl said a little bit about the stimulus. It should not take this long to help the American people. I mean, you got so many people that are out of work due to this pandemic and don't know where the next meal coming from or bills or anything like that, and utilities and having children and all that. So now is not the time to play around with the American people. They need this money. I've been fortunate enough to maintain my job through this pandemic, so I'm grateful and thankful, to God for that. But a lot of us, out here can't say the same thing. So I'm looking out for them, and it's easier being looking on the outside, looking in, and you don't know what people are actually going through until you're in that situation. So again, please get out there and vote, and that's what we need to do.
And by the same means, I'm gonna say this: for the people who were getting all this extra unemployment and you didn't pay your bills, I don't feel sorry for you guys.
Nope.
Because you should have been thinking long term what's gonna happen down the line. And if you blew that money and you here in Memphis, if you decided, hey, MLG&W ain't cutting nobody off, so I ain't gonna pay that bill, and now you got cut off, and if you out of money or whatever the case is, those people I don't feel sorry for. Those are the things that I think, when I say change, those are the changes that I'm talking about. Making changes where the people who need help are getting the help. I mean, it's like anything else. If you get some extra money, I ain't knocking nobody who got some extra money, because I wish I could have got some of that extra money. But what I'm saying is, some people don't need to get the money because they're not going to use it in the right, what it was actually meant for. So if you're using it unwisely, I'm not for that. And the other thing I wanted to kind of discuss, and I know it'll probably never happen, and I think like in the Senate, when you got people who've been in office for 30 and 40 years, I think that's just too long for one person to be in any position. As times change, people change. And if you still got the old school mentality of 30 or 40 years ago, and you're trying to use those in politics today, I don't think that works. And I think that's part of the problem. Just like the president got 2 terms, I'm thinking maybe they should limit the Senate, House of Representatives. Maybe it should be a limit on those.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
8 years might be short for a senator or something like that, but 12 years or something. I mean, after 12 years, I don't know.
Like I said, and going back to the Democrat and the Republicans, they can't get a stimulus package done, and they're on vacation all the time. They got to do recess. They got on recess and on vacation, and you can't talk about it for 2 weeks because they won't be back in it. But you got the American people suffering and trying to,
I hate to cut you off, but I don't want to lose my train of thought on this. But I bet you if they weren't getting paid, some would happen. If they weren't getting paid doing this, and they work for us, that's the bad thing about it. But if they weren't getting paid, I bet you they'd have some kind of package done.
Yeah.
And my thing is, do what's right, and I mean, I don't want to just jump off into politics, but I look at it like over the last 10, 12 years or whatever, however many years it's been, that they've approved themselves for 6 pay raises, but then y'all don't want to up the minimum wage. And then, they have a very important job to do. So I'm not necessarily knocking how much money they make or whatever, but for what you making versus how much work you put in, there ain't no reason why. Okay, even if you are on recess, you telling me y'all can't pull together a Zoom meeting or do something,
right?
And get this thing done,
right?
And like I said, I'm mostly a Democrat. I'm Democratic. I vote the Democratic ticket. I don't agree with everything they do. And I did look at some of the policies and stuff. Well, some of the stuff they included in this big stimulus bill, Heroes Act or whatever. Some of that stuff don't need to be in there.
Right.
That's
why I said it's Democratic as well. Republicans, we have a problem as a whole, and like I said, I'm not taking either side. I'm for the right way, and just hopefully they get the stimulus thing straightened out. And like I said, say this to say this. I know we've been we talking more about it than when we actually wanted to close the show out, but our main purpose for talking about this is just to let you guys please go vote.
Yeah, just vote.
Just vote.
It's oh man, I got so much stuff on my mind I want to get off right now, Terry, but I'm not gonna try to impose what I think on anybody. Whichever way it go, vote, try to make a difference, and in the end, we all need to work together. We all need to try to get along. We all need to make improvements in our lives to try to help this country. Because from what I'm seeing, we going down the wrong path. We're supposed to be the greatest country in the world. And you just look at what we're going through right now. Not just the racial divide. It's so many pockets of division in the country. And we start talking about the police. We start talking about politics. We start talking about this. We start talking about that. And we really, it all could come together and either blow up in our face, or we can all come together and be what we claim to be, and that's the greatest country in the world. And I'm through. I don't want to say nothing else.
Well said.
So if you ain't got nothing else to say, Terry.
That's it for me.
With that, I think we did another great show. We appreciate you guys. We thank you for tuning in. And all we can say is we looking to get bigger and better, and we hope you're a part of it. So thank you guys, and we really appreciate you.
Take care.
You're out.
Damn, baby, wake up. Falling asleep, baby.
I'm up.
Where you at? Before we watch the movie, man, you making me sleep. Show up at your job. How you doing, baby? with some apple lotion, a lifetime of sexy draws and bras. Get in the car, let's go far as the stars, closer to Mars. Change the alphabets to you and I, cause this world is ours. What about our own beach? With a permanent deposit at our own feet. A copper squatting cheap or sweet beneath our own palm tree. Enjoy yourself, girl, cause this on me. You keep your beat for what it's for. Important people, they can't reach you. We on the lost land like Tarzan, Janet Cheetah. Sipping margaritas, making love like we on overdub. And can't stop, buck naked. Nobody's supposed to be here, ask Deborah Cox. Hitting your spot, laying in the sand while the waves rush the rocks. Seeing the sunset with a live jazz band. Shit, why not? Imagine we the only ones on Baywatch. Wake up.
Let me take you to my world. Let me take you to my